That is all the Tamil I know. From here I speak in English. I am not a speaker. And when Priyambada asked me whether I would speak, I said, I don't like speakers also because they catch this mic and they never let it go and they bore us to death. So I don't want to be one of them. I'm not thanking anybody. I have come all the way here. I think that is an expression of the joy that I felt when I read the stories of the true. I don't know Priyambada. I have never read Jayamohan before. And I picked it up casually in someone's house because one story I had heard was very good and done in Telugu. I said, let me just see. And then when I started reading the book, and see, my hairs are white. I am a publisher, so I read some 10 books a week because I must decide what I need to translate into Telugu. So I have a wide reading list. And this book, I could not read it at one go. I read one story, I had to put it down. I could only take up the next story after 2 days. Book took slow reading, and I was honestly, I am not given much to praise, but I put out, I think, a post on Facebook saying that this is one of the best books I've read. This is the best book I've read in a decade. In 10 years, I haven't read such a book which has moved me so much. And then I passed on the news to my friends that more people must buy this book. And then afterwards, accidentally, I think Priyambada saw this and asked me whether I would come. And I've never spoken in any book before. See, as a publisher, you don't want to give an author fatter head. Author has already big fat head because everybody is praising him or her. Forgive me, but that is what I have observed. And I am not a writer myself. I'm an activist, and if I write, it is only accidentally to write about the work that I'm doing. So normally, I don't want to praise an author, but this book has been really something out of the ordinary. I think publishing it in English, there are two things I want to talk about. One is publishing in English. One is what is publishing in the Indian language itself. Now, more and more writing in an Indian language has limitations because our children are learning English. This is very true in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, less in Tamil Nadu, and even less in Kerala and Bengal, where you still love your language. But more and more, we have to accept that in India, English being the language that is a language of power and of livelihood, more people are going to learn English. Many children are already going to English medium schools. In my own 2 Telugu states, since the last 5 years, all government schools have English as the medium of instruction. So we have a lot of problem in Telugu is that people are not wanting to read Telugu. You have less of a problem here, but I think even in the Canadian diaspora, I don't know how many, whether Muthulingam's children do they read Tamil, his grandchildren do they read Tamil? No, I don't think so. But the same thing, the culture lives on, the language lives on through film, through conversation, etc. So if our children want to read our language, English is important. Because in English, these stories are being conveyed to those people who cannot read the script, but know the language and know the background of the region. So in that sense, I think English is important to pass our heritage on to our children. And now, how important is English to get a place in the wider world? You might want Jayamohan to win the Booker Prize or the Nobel Prize or whatever. I don't know how important awards are because though I'm very glad for Priyambada, because this is a debut work, I think young people need to be encouraged. But Jayamohan, I think, is happy where he is. And what I saw, because first time I met him was, I met him only once, the second time was at the Bangalore Literary Festival. And because I had read his book, I said I must hear this person. And what I saw was, they had limited seats in the auditorium. And the hall was full for the previous panel. And those panelists thought, oh, we got big audience for us, everybody is seated. When that panel got over and walked off, nobody in the audience moved. And then it was clear that they all had occupied seats in advance for Jayamohan's talk. They were all Jayamohan fans. And when he came, there was a standing ovation for him. This is in Bangalore city somewhere. Standing ovation for him. That kind of love, that kind of affection and respect, you will not get from an English language reader. You will only get from Indian language readers. Because English is a language of snobs, of snooty people, and everybody wants to think, I am better than her, I am better than him. It's only, I think, in the Indian language that you have this kind of respect. So I think that is something to be cherished. I see that here in the way they have organized this meeting, in the way you have addressed, you have attended, and from what I heard, what I hear of the Vishnupuram literary circle also, I mean, it's something amazing going on. So I think the two jobs are important. One is to keep Indian language and reading alive, and at the same time to translate works into English so that our heritage is passed on to our children. I think apart from this, I have nothing valuable to say. So thank you very much.